It's so
This is
lovely to meet you.
wonderful to
It's
meet
so
you.
lovely to meet you.
God,
I
so
loved your I
wonderful.
loved your letter.
Oh,
I
thank
I loved
you.
your letter, and I love that you have a burning desire to be an actor.
Oh yeah. Oh well, my gosh, my whole life.
Yeah,
I can't
right.
help it. It's in my gut.
Right.
What am I gonna do?
And you support yourself by
I do. Well, I work at a hotel. It keeps my head above water. I've always learned to keep a job. Just keep some job.
Right.
Keep it going.
well,
Follow my
that's what they're
dreams.
that's what they're telling you.
That's
These are
right.
your folks.
These are my parents. This is my mother, Sally.
Hello, Sally. It's so lovely to meet you.
This is my father, Pete.
Hello, Pete. Have you had any success so far?
Yeah. Well, you know, I love doing horror movies.
Do you?
That's been
Oh, well,
my-
look at the eyes. I see the eyes.
You know, I can't, but I don't think my parents have seen too many of the movies because they're just, and neither is Grandma, I don't think. She's too scared to see them. But I've made a little bit of a name for myself doing scary, I played vampires. And
Oh, well, that's very in
Killers.
these. That's very in these days.
It is, yeah.
That's very in these
And
days.
I love it. And I just, you know, like I said, I keep my head above water, keeping a job.
Financially,
That's,
fine.
the good values my parents have taught me.
Well, then
But-
you're sort of free during the day. If
I can-
something comes up during the day,
Exactly.
I know.
Exactly,
I know.
right.
Most of the young people who were working in restaurants here in Los Angeles
Mm-hmm.
and working in hotels, you know, you can always tell everybody's always auditioning.
That's
you
right.
get your coffee and it's presented with a flair.
That's right. That's right.
You never
I'm
know
sure
who you're
for
going to
you,
run to.
They gotta give you a little bit extra. flair
They,
if they see you.
I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure about that. I don't know. Anyway, it's a delight. It's a
it's such a
delight to
delight
meet
to
you.
meet So
Are you
overwhelming.
fans of the show? I know he
Oh
is.
my gosh. Are you kidding?
Did you get him started?
She did it.
Did you get him started? Good. Well, you taught him well, because if you taught him that he's got to support himself while he dreams, that's very
And
good.
as long as he's happy, we don't care.
And as long as he's
Well, that's
happy.
what I wrote about. I said, you know, they gave me these values, and you sort of fine-tuned that moral compass for me, which you
Well, that's
absolutely
good.
do every day.
Well, that's
honestly.
wonderful. That's wonderful. It's such a joy to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Enjoy. I'm going to
Wonderful.
turn you
Thank you so
over.
much.
I'm going to turn you over to Gary Rosen, who I know has a
know.
million questions for you.
Nice to meet you again.
Nice to see you. Lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
I'm Gary Rosen. I'm here with Peter Stickles, who is one of our Facebook winners on How Judge Judy Changed My Life. Welcome.
Hi, Gary.
So, Peter, how did Judge Judy change your life?
You know, I have to actually give most credit to my parents, who gave me these sort of really incredible values that I've grown up with, that have, you know, I've held with me throughout my entire life. You know, like working hard, and the importance of keeping a job, treating people with respect, and, you know, accountability. So, and I watch Judge Judy, and I see so much of that in my parents. You know, I see these values that she tries to give to her audience. So I really responded to that. I thought, wow, this is someone who, as I watched her, kind of fine-tuned these values for me.
And you've been watching her for a long time.
Oh yeah, for about 15 years now, I'd say, even though I'm only 25 right now.
Right. But what is it specifically about her that you had mentioned that the moral compass?
Oh yeah, you know, my moral compass is something that I like to think that she finds tuned. I like how she just makes, she can be almost unpopular in the way she does things. Dare I say, mean, but I don't see it as mean. I see it as kind of like a good way of making you responsible for your actions. You know, if you do something wrong, say, yeah, I did it wrong. If you owe money for something, say, you know what, I owe money for something. Or even just saying I'm sorry. And she mentions that a lot. She's like, you know, if you were to start off saying I'm sorry, then half of this would be it wouldn't be nearly as painful as it is right now.
So did you feel you got some of that from her?
Oh, absolutely. As I watch her every day, I just keep thinking, oh yeah, maybe I should approach what's going on in my life with more of the way that she treats people, because ultimately, it's the right way. And you know, it's hard to argue. It's hard to argue the truth. You know,
Right.
when she always says, you know, if you have a good memory, then the truth is not something that hard to remember.
So what was it like meeting her? And you brought your parents from Florida.
I brought my parents from Florida. I was really nervous, actually, and I didn't think I would be as nervous I was, but I was expecting her to kind of be like, Peter, you know, kind of almost slap me into shape, you know, like, you know, stand up straight. You know, what are you doing with that loose tie? But no, it wasn't anything like that. She was actually just a really funny, very down-to-earth, normal lady, which was nice.
And were your parents surprised?
Very surprised. Yeah, my parents didn't know about this until last night. I was actually thinking of surprising them today, but then I thought maybe might be even too overwhelming. So I decided to tell them last night.
So did they even know that you entered the contest?
No, nothing. Nothing about it. I said, come to LA. I want you to come to LA. I have a surprise for you. And they said, okay. and then I just didn't tell them until I got here.
Great. Well, thanks for coming. Glad this all worked out
Are
for
you
you.
kidding? This is amazing.
Terrific.
We're having the best time. Thank
Great.
you.
Thanks, Peter.